For this video, I'm doing something a little different. I'm not just rating the Oscar nominees, and I'm not giving you other movies from this year to watch instead. I'm kinda over that, I think it's boring. Instead, I'm pairing each nominee with a movie from a completely different year that deals with similar themes. I want to point you all toward films that you might not have seen before. I'm gonna start with Sinners because it received the most Oscar nominations of all time. I think Blade works better than Sinners for a number of reasons. It never pretends to be more than it is, just a stylish vampire movie. It's clear about its story without trying to turn it into some lame political story. I mean, the theme of not belonging is there, sure, but it never reduces the movie to black trauma or racial revenge. Sinners, on the other hand, wants to be a big political statement so bad. How many times do we have to watch these kill whitey movies? What's more, it looks like AI slop. I mean, just take this one random scene. It looks like someone dropped a stock fire effect on top of the scene. The flame shape looks weird. The fire is forming some vertical tornado shape. The fire should be lighting everything around it. And the background is also flat. It's just ridiculous that something like this got nominated for Best Cinematography. I think 1968's Romeo and Juliet is a better film because it just respects Shakespeare and it doesn't try to twist the story. It's very colorful, tragic, and dramatic, but not dramatic in an annoying way. What I mean is nobody is chasing some big Oscar moment. In Hamnet, there's a lot of constant sobbing, and it's very depressing. Like, we don't need to see people crying hysterically and yelling for a chunk of the movie. It doesn't make it deeper. Some of the dramatic scenes are so over the top that we ended up with one of the ugliest images of 2025. Hamnet rewrites Shakespeare's family in ways that doesn't really reflect who they were. His father was Catholic, not some non-Christian abuser. His wife wasn't pagan, and Shakespeare didn't practice paganism. He was Protestant, but still respectful of Catholicism. When you look at the people behind the making of the movie, it's not that surprising they made those changes. Begonia and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Both movies are cynical, but what really bugged me is Begonia's ending that casually shrugs and says, well, this is what we deserve. Total detachment. Invasion of the Body Snatchers is horrifying, but it kinda implies the loss of something important and real. Identity, soul, our humanity. It believes that these things have actually been taken. So while I acknowledge that it is cynical, I like that it's not glib. F1 and The Moment of Truth. These movies are about dangerous sports. But F1 is just another story about a guy chasing greatness and learning some lesson. We've seen that arc 1,000 times and nothing here justifies repeating it. The Moment of Truth is interesting because it understands that bullfighting isn't just a competition. It's an art, and it's romantic about the sport. The movie even frames it in a kind of Catholic way. There's a lot of Catholic imagery in the movie. The film follows a man chasing greatness and shows the real costs of that pursuit. The Secret Agent and Gloria. The movies are about adults protecting a child while being hunted. The Secret Agent is very sluggish and boring. The only time it really tries to be interesting is a random surreal moment, a cut-off leg terrorizing the town. It's just really silly and out of place. But Gloria is a cool, confident action movie with real character moments. You see how Gloria handles pressure, how the kid reacts, how their relationship develops under real danger. Gloria makes its crime story human and engaging in a way that The Secret Agent never does. One Battle After Another and The Tree, the Mayor, and the Mediatek by Romer. Romer made a political movie where people talk like adults. They disagree, they argue, but they're never reduced to stereotypes. He wasn't trying to please the Academy, and he wasn't trying to make some big message movie. The film is just simply interested in how people think and how they communicate. In fact, that alone feels radical now. One Battle After Another wants to feel important, but it's so simple-minded. Good guys versus bad guys, people are just caricatures. I think serious political filmmaking requires a real desire to understand, not just to be understood. Marty Supreme and White Men Can't Jump. I actually like Marty Supreme, and I'm a fan of Timothée Chalamet. I think it's the best of the nominees, and I think Chalamet should win the Best Actor award. But I think White Men Can't Jump digs deeper into ego and male competition. Both movies have strong sports sequences. The ping pong scenes in Marty Supreme are fantastic. And the street basketball and White Men Can't Jump may not be Harlem Globetrotters level, but it feels completely authentic. If you've ever played street ball for cash, you'll totally get it. Pride, insecurity, race, money, it's all tangled together. It's a mess, but a good mess. It shows all of these flawed men trying to prove something, each for their own reasons and without judgment. I think that's why it lands harder and stays with you. And while Marty Supreme has some interesting sports moments and drama, it's mostly an adventure film that comes off as a motivational nudge to get your life together. Frankenstein and the Elephant Man. I was thinking a lot about the Elephant Man, and I think it might be the saddest monster movie ever made. It treats the so-called monster as fully human, a man with intellect, faith, and passions and dreams. It is a bit melancholic, but Lynch understood the difference between happiness and fulfillment, that you can suffer and still live meaningfully. It really is a deep moral insight, and all of that is missing in Del Toro's Frankenstein. It doesn't seem to understand monsters or humanity. Sentimental value and Robert Altman's The Player. The Player is sharp and mean in the right way. It understands how movies get packaged and sold, and knows the system very well. It's funny but still honest about how fake the industry can be. More than that, it understands what movies are for, how they're supposed to reflect the human experience. Sentimental Value is just another movie about sad sack characters dealing with trauma. There's no edge and no sense that it really understands the system it's even a part of. Train Dreams and The Straight Story. This is another Lynch film. I think it works so well because it doesn't try so hard for meaning. Like, I don't think the movie is trying to convince you it's some profound, heartbreaking experience. It just shows this old man traveling across the country. He's doing something very small, but it matters to him. The scenes are simple, the conversations are just straightforward. It doesn't shove trauma down your throat. Characters aren't walking around depressed and crying. Train Dreams, on the other hand, feels like it wants to be a Terrence Malick film. It hits all the themes it thinks it's supposed to. It's almost as if White Suits came up with it in the office. Oh, it's going to be about isolation, death, the American West. It really does feel that assembled, like someone typed lonely American myth, poetic grief, sweeping landscapes into a prompt and built a movie out of that. It really is such an overrated film. It's important to remember that awards don't really decide what matters, time does. So if you're gonna spend 2 hours on a movie, it should be one that actually takes art and the human experience seriously.